First pick in the draft should be quarterback Joe Burrow from LSU, a senior at 6'4", 221 pounds. There aren't many more ways to explain why the Bengals will draft Joe Burrow. It's what everyone in the NFL expects to happen, and it's the best pick for a team with a needed quarterback. He won the Heisman, a national championship, and broke numerous records. With the second pick in the draft, the Washington Redskins will likely pick Chase Young, defensive end from Ohio State, who's a rare defensive prospect with an elite overall skill set. Young projects as an instant impact edge defender with the upside to become one of the NFL's most prolific defensive playmakers. He's polished, powerful, athletic, and features every desirable physical trait needed to excel in the NFL. With the third pick in the draft, the Lions will likely take Jeff Okudah, also from Ohio State, who's an incredibly talented prospect who ranks as one of the best cornerbacks evaluated in the last decade. He has excellent size, toughness, instincts, speed, and is a high character player with nearly perfect traits to transition immediately to the NFL. With the fourth pick in the draft, the New York Giants will select Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, who's the scariest linebacker prospect the league has seen in a long time. He can play anywhere on defense, something he showed often at Clemson, and will give the Giants an athletic playmaker who can be a matchup problem for any type of offense. With the fifth pick in the draft, the Miami Dolphins will likely pick quarterback Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. When he's healthy, he's a special passer with awesome touch, accuracy, field vision, and mobility. He's a little bit of Drew Brees with a little touch of Russell Wilson mixed in. The NFL will go wild for that type of quarterback as long as his medicals from 2 ankle injuries and a dislocated hip in the last 2 seasons come back clean. And the sixth pick for the Chargers will be Justin Herbert from Oregon. The 6'6", 236-pound athlete with a big right arm and impressive mobility could draw on the West Coast fans while also giving head coach Anthony Lynn a young quarterback to groom and grow with. There are many options on the table, but without projecting trades, Herbert is the best choice pre-free agency. With the seventh pick in the draft, the Carolina Panthers will likely take defensive lineman Derrick Brown from Auburn. This big man has an awesome penetration skills, ability to shut down the run, and upside as a pass rusher. It's rare to see a defensive tackle legitimately triple teamed by opposing offensive lines, but that was the case for Brown multiple times throughout the 2019 season. His athleticism and versatility make Brown a perfect fit for Matt Rhule as the first pick of his run as the new head coach in Carolina. With the eighth pick in the draft, the Arizona Cardinals will likely take offensive tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. from Alabama, who's an impressive and clean blocker. His workouts have shown he has the agility and quickness in his feet to handle either side too. He could be a foundational piece to the Cardinals roster. With the ninth pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars may take defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina, who earned first-team All-SEC and first-team Associated Press All-America honors, even though his defensive production of 35 tackles and 6 sacks and 12 starts did not exactly match how dominant he was at times. With the 10th pick in the draft, the Cleveland Browns may take offensive tackle Mekhi Becton from Louisville, who at 6'7" and 364 pounds is a rare athlete with exceptional movement skills in the run game and the ability to dominate in pass protection. His combination of length, strength, and agility hasn't been seen at the offensive tackle position in the last decade. He's special as a prospect, but there are technical concerns that must be ironed out before he's ready to become a top-tier pass blocker. The New York Jets have the 11th pick of the draft and could take wide receiver CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. He profiles as a number one receiver at the next level, and that can be the focal point of a passing attack. He's a threat at all levels of the field with blue chip body control, ball skills, hands, and instincts. He has a notable transition ahead of him in terms of applying his traits against NFL corners compared to the ones he toyed with in the Big 12, but his natural gifts should accelerate his acclimation period to the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders have the 12th pick of the draft and may also take a wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy from Alabama, who's an Odell Beckham Jr. type receiver with fantastic agility and burst. He's among the cleanest, smoothest route runners you'll find in the last decade of pass catchers. That, plus his agility and speed, makes him the most likely to have a major impact early in his rookie season. And another receiver at number 13 for San Francisco 49ers, Henry Ruggs III from Alabama. His combine workouts were eye-popping with a 4.27 40-yard dash and all-around explosive performance in the drills he participated in. San Francisco watched as speed beat them in the Super Bowl, so they add a speedster of their own in the form of Ruggs. With the 14th pick of the draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers likely take offensive tackle Andrew Thomas from Georgia. He dominated the SEC while playing on the left side, which makes his transition to the NFL a little easier to project than his counterparts. With the 15th pick of the draft, the Denver Broncos may take Christian Fulton from LSU. He's a bit of a late bloomer, but he came into his own during the latter portions while in Baton Rouge. Fulton is a prototypical press man corner in a heavy man-to-man scheme. He still has strides to make as far as playing the ball in the air and improving his play strength, but if he's able to improve in those areas, he has the makings of being a high-end starter on the next level. With the 16th pick of the draft, the Atlanta Falcons will likely take cornerback C.J. Henderson from Florida. He has ideal size and a very good instincts to play in a man coverage defense. The main questions are his penchant for playing too far off in coverage while trying to bait quarterbacks into mistakes, and his lack of prowess as a tackler, which both can be fixed at the next level. He's ready to be a day one starter in the NFL. With the 17th pick in the draft, the Dallas Cowboys may pick K'Lavon Chaisson from LSU, who's a truly special athlete player at the outside linebacker position. The Tigers asked Chaisson to rush the quarterback, but he was also tasked often with dropping into coverage or stacking up against the run. In that way, he's more like 2019 draft pick Josh Allen from Kentucky than he is a pure pass rusher. With the 18th pick, the Miami Dolphins pick offensive tackle Josh Jones from Houston, who is a bit of a project, but he's a smooth mover who excelled during Senior Bowl week against top-tier competition. He might not have wowed at the combine like the tackles drafted ahead of him, but his play speaks for itself. With the 19th pick in the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders will take cornerback Jeff Gladney from TCU, who measures just over 5'10" but plays much bigger, especially in press coverage and when taking on ball carriers in the run game. Gladney is one of the most competitive cornerback prospects that you will see in this class, not just in coverage but also as a run defender. He's scrappy, tough, and physical, and projects best in a press man scheme. The 20th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars will take cornerback Trevon Diggs, who fits the profile of a cover 3 press man cornerback at the next level. His length makes him an ideal player to play press at the line of scrimmage and put him in positions of physically challenged receivers to stack the edge and run support. But his lack of consistency in run support is frustrating, and he can be hit or miss locating the football. With the 21st pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Eagles take wide receiver Justin Jefferson from LSU. After running a 4.43 40 in Indianapolis, any talk of Justin Jefferson falling in the draft is officially over. The star receiver was already billed as one of the best route runners in the class, but after showing home run speed, it's easy to see teams lining up to fall in love with him. With the 22nd pick in the draft, the Minnesota Vikings will take Jaylon Johnson, quarterback from Utah, who touts terrific length and physicality to play press coverage. He'll have the most chance for success if tasked with playing perimeter corner in a pressure-heavy defensive system. He lacks mobility, foot speed, and reaction skills to thrive in off coverage, and any team taking him must be ready to play him inside of 5 yards to afford him the best chance of success in the NFL. 23rd pick of the draft with the New England Patriots to take a new quarterback, Jordan Love from Utah State, who's a smart, athletic, strong-arm quarterback who struggled with turnovers in a bad Utah State team in 2019. He had a new head coach, and most of his weapons were gone, and he forced his way into 17 interceptions. But teams are falling for his arm strength and ability to make off-schedule throws and win while on the move. Pick number 24 by the New Orleans Saints, linebacker Patrick Queen of LSU projects well as a starting linebacker in the NFL. He's got the sideline-to-sideline range to step into a Mike role and has the impact in pass coverage to serve as a three-down linebacker, a critical blend that should significantly help boost his value. With the 25th pick, the Minnesota Vikings would take offensive tackle Austin Jackson from USC, who has athleticism, length, and poise at the position that are hard to coach. The hope is that his NFL team will refine his inside game and add strength, in which case he projects as a very good starting left tackle. The 26th pick of the draft, Miami Dolphins select running back DeAndre Swift from Georgia. When Ryan Fitzpatrick is your leading rusher for the season, something has to change, and that change comes via the best running back in the draft class. Swift is fast, smart, soft-handed as a receiver, and shows exceptional burst in the open field. He was a tad banged up by the end of the season, but healthy enough to turn heads with his positional drills and workouts at the combine. The 27th pick of the draft, the Seattle Seahawks take Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end from Penn State, who has the ability to develop into a game-changing pass rusher as a 4-3 defensive end. He has been tasked with playing in a number of alignments and has the athleticism to line up all over the front, but his short area agility, speed to power, and length will make the greatest impact as an end man on the line of scrimmage. And with the 28th pick of the draft, the Baltimore Ravens would take linebacker Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, who dominated as a one-man wrecking crew for the Oklahoma defense, but has more natural athleticism than many would expect from a player who was so impactful in the run game. He's a true three-down linebacker with the speed to cover tight ends, but the toughness to step up and stop the run. The 29th selection of the draft, the Tennessee Titans would take Ezra Cleveland, offensive line from Boise State, who projects as a developmental offensive tackle prospect in the NFL. He's got the movement skills to eventually become a starter, but as is, he is currently too raw to offer consideration for early playing time. The 30th pick of the draft, Green Bay Packers select Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State, who's an excellent prospect who can dominate from the slot. He's fantastic with the football in his hands and has the ability to line up outside or inside the formation. Brings versatility and big play potential at wideout. Packers have talent in Devontae Adams and Allen Lazard, but nothing like the juice Ayuk brings after the catch. With the 31st pick in the draft, San Francisco 49ers will take Ross Blacklock, defensive tackle from TCU, who's a scheme-diverse talent who has all the physical tools needed to be a disruptive presence up front on an NFL defensive line. His length, hand power, lateral agility, and first-step quickness are all plus qualities, and once he's able to polish his pad-level leverage and hand placement, he will have a chance to be an impact defender. With the 32nd pick in the draft, Kansas City Chiefs select offensive guard from Michigan, Cesar Ruiz, who is a rock-solid prospect who should comfortably slot into any kind of offensive system at the NFL level. He brings desirable strength in one-on-one scenarios and also provides nimble quickness as a puller and in pass protection. His lack of length may regulate him to manning the middle as a center only.